We struggle with this in our life. Like, we struggle with this in growth. We struggle this with change. This is the truth. And I want you to hear me and hear me clear. Everything in your life isn't meant to last forever. So please understand that. And I think sometimes we think that we're supposed to hold on to certain things forever. Let me be clear. Certain things are going to last forever in your life, right? Period. But everything in your life isn't meant to last forever, from your dreams to your job to certain people in your life. And I think the problem that we have often is that we're trying to carry things in our life that's past its expiration date. We're trying to keep people in our life and things in our life that aren't supposed to be there anymore. Understand this truth. As you grow, everything isn't going to grow and go with you because they don't want to put in the work to do it. As you elevate your life and change your life, things are going to fall off. The higher you climb, certain things are going to fall off your life, right? In order to move up, there are some things you must be willing to give up straight up. In order to move up, there are some things you must be willing to give up. Write that down in the chat right now. In order to move up, there are some things that you must be willing to give up. And that's a list of a lot of stuff in life, right? That could be people, that could be habits, that could be whatever. But I do know this, going into your next level, there's some things that is not going to go with you to your next level, in your next level. And I'm talking about this today because I see so many of us, and I'm guilty of this too. We feel guilty. We feel guilty as we're changing, as we're growing, and certain things around us change also. Certain things look different. We don't have the same people there, the same friends there, the same whatever there. And we start to think, man, am I a bad person? Man, what am I doing wrong? You start to feel guilty for doing what's right for you. You start to feel guilty for your change. You start to feel guilty for leveling up your life. You start to feel guilty for progressing because you start to think that there's something wrong with you because things are changing. But you got to understand, when your life is changing, things are going to change also. And I know that we want everything in our life to stay the same, but you got to think about it. Everything in your life isn't meant to stay the same in your life. So as you continue to progress, as you continue to grow, don't start thinking that, oh, I'm not doing the right thing because some of my friends ain't with me no more. Don't start thinking, oh, I ain't doing the right things because I don't have these certain things in my life anymore. I've said this quote 1,000,000 times. Here is 1,000,001. Certain things have to end so better things can begin. Sometimes good has to end so great can begin. Sometimes okay has to end so you can walk into what you deserve. So what you deserve can begin. Sometimes what's okay in your life. And some of you are living a life that's okay. It's okay. But you know deep inside there's more for your life. Some of you are okay with selling for okay. But I want to tell you this. Okay has to end. Whatever that okay is for you, okay has to end so what you deserve can begin. And that's what life is truly about. Living in what we deserve. Living in what's meant for our life. And the truth about it is some of you are praying for change. Some of you are praying for growth. But yet you think that your prayers aren't being answered because you're going through growing pains. What does growing pains look like? Growing pains sometimes looks like, man, losing people that you care about. Growing pains sometimes looks like losing certain things or moving into certain things that's uncomfortable. It's a part of life. So I wanted to come on this live because I had to remind myself plenty of times in my journey. Like, dang, man, like, why isn't everything that I want to keep staying with me? Everything that you want to keep isn't what you need to keep. You hear me? Everything in your life that you want to keep isn't what you need to keep. There's certain things in your life that's past its expiration date. And as you continue to grow, as you continue to move forward, those things get exposed. And what I know is true is that so many people don't reach the level that they were meant to live at, don't reach the level of their success, don't reach the level of their healing, don't reach the level of their peace because they're thinking that they're doing something wrong because certain things ain't growing with them. They feel like they're leaving people behind. And when you have a good heart, you know what I mean? You feel guilty a lot. I know I used to feel guilty for leaving people behind. Like, man, why am I leaving these people behind? I just want to better my life. Like, what am I doing wrong? Like, why aren't these people supporting me, man? Like, why aren't these people changing? And this is what I realized that changed my perspective towards this and shifted my perspective and changed my life. It allowed me to progress my life and continue to grow. You got a responsibility. You watching this, you got a responsibility to grow into your greatness. You got a responsibility to grow into the life that's meant for you. You got a responsibility to grow into your next level. You got a responsibility to grow into what you deserve. You have that responsibility. And if that responsibility comes with leaving certain things behind, so be it. I know that seems very cold-hearted, but it's not. It's being real. But it changed my life when I stopped thinking I'm leaving things behind. I realized that no, certain things are choosing to stay behind. Just like you're choosing to grow, just like you're choosing to change, there's certain things in your life that's choosing to settle for less, that's choosing to stay where they are. When you offer the invitation to grow with you and they choose not to grow with you, they're choosing. You're not leaving them behind. They're choosing to stay there. When you had the conversation with your friends and say, man, you know what? I'm going to stop living that lifestyle. I'm going to stop doing the things that we used to do. I'm going to stop sitting here talking on the phone for hours about people, gossiping, talking about some of our other friends behind their back, talking about what's going on. I'm going to stop doing that because I got a responsibility to live my best life. If they choose to still gossip about their friends, if they still choose to spend hours on phone calls talking about pointless and meaningless things, they're choosing that. So don't you feel guilty for choosing what's best for you. Don't you feel guilty for choosing life? You want to say, hey, man, I'm leaving that lifestyle alone. I get it. That lifestyle is fun, but that lifestyle isn't helping me go to the place where I need to go. It isn't helping us be our best version of ourselves. And you choose to make a change and they choose to stay the same. They're choosing that. You're not leaving them behind. Please understand, and I'm passionate about this because some of us, we literally stay in a place that we're not meant to be in anymore because we're so afraid. We have that mindset that we're leaving people behind. We have that mindset that we're changing. Of course you're changing. You're changing for the best. You're changing for the better. You're not changing for the worse. So I'm going to tell you right now, if you choose to stay the same, that's choosing to change for the worse. Because nothing stays the same. Either something progresses or it regresses. It grows into greatness or it grows into decay. Nothing stays the same. And so by you making the choice to say, you know what, I'm going to be intentional with my life. I'm going to stop keeping myself around this environment that's toxic, that ain't doing nothing for us. Like we've been here for the last 10 years. We still living a hot school life and we 40 years old. I'm not doing that no more. We 30 years old and we still doing the same things we were doing when we were 15. The negative things, the things that ain't helping our life. So if you want to choose to stay here, cool, but I'm not choosing to stay here anymore. And when you make that choice, I'm going to tell you what comes with it. When people aren't ready to change, you know what they're going to do? They're going to try to make you feel guilty for changing. They're going to try to put that identity on you, you switched up. They're going to try to put that identity on you, a fake friend. Oh, you too good for me now. You too good for us now. Those are people that are addicted to staying the same that will try to put that on you. Don't let it happen. Ain't nothing wrong with wanting to better your life. Ain't nothing wrong with you wanting to leave behind meaningless things that ain't helping your life and pointless things. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But at some point, you got to get to a place in your life where you say, you know what? Man, I know it hurts to leave people behind. Let me rephrase that. I know it hurts that people are choosing to stay behind. I know it hurts my soul because I truly care and love these people and I want the best for them. But when you get to the point where you say, man, living my best life is no longer negotiable. That's when everything changes for you. I got some things in my life that I'm not negotiating anymore. And stay in a place of stagnation, stay in a place of pain, stay in a place of hurt, stay in a place that doesn't do anything for my life just to make other people feel good, just to satisfy the opinions of others. That is not negotiable anymore in my life. I'm not negotiating that. If I got to go alone and grow alone, so be it. The journey might be lonely, but I'll tell you right now, the journey is worth it. The journey will be lonely for you. You're person watching this and you're now deciding to leave certain things and you're now deciding to walk into meaningful things in your life, that journey will be lonely for a little bit. But I'll tell you what's going to happen as you continue down the path that's been paid for your life, as you continue down the path that's best for your life, as you continue down the path that's purposeful for your life, you'll meet like mindsets. It might not happen this year. It might not happen this month, but eventually you'll meet like mindsets that are addicted to growth, that are addicted to progression, that are addicted to getting the most out of this life because they understand how valuable it is. But at some point, you got to stop talking about it and you got to be about it. At some point, you got to stop allowing things to keep you in a stage of decay, man. What is a stage of decay? Decay dies. And some of us, we in a stage of decay because we're so afraid to offend people. It's not offending people when you doing things that's positive and right for your life. It's offensive to me to sit there and try to bring somebody down and keep somebody down that wants to grow. That's offensive. Change your perspective around this. And I know it's sometimes the people closest to you. That's why I always talk about that. I know it's the people close. I know it's your friends. I know it's your circle. I know it's sometimes your family. And you seem like the black sheep in your family. You seem like the outcast. But have you ever thought about this? That maybe you the one? That maybe you the one that got to pave the way? Because I'm going to tell you right now, every leader, every groundbreaking person that did something groundbreaking, every person that did something incredible was once labeled crazy, was once labeled misunderstood. There's a lot of people in my life that didn't understand what I decided to do in 2009. They didn't get it. There's a lot of people that chose to stay behind. There's a lot of people that say that I changed. There's a lot of people that said that I switched up. A lot of people that said that I'm different. And you know what? They were absolutely right. I did switch up. I switched up from pain to purpose. I switched up. I switched up. Yep. I switched up from average to greatness. Yep. I switched up from selling for less to no longer accepting less in my life. I switched up to wondering if I was enough to knowing I am enough. I did switch up. And if that's what switching up looks like, my friends, keep switching up. If people want to say that you switched up and say that you changed, but if all your change looks like better, if all your switching up looks like greater, then keep switching up, keep changing. Because people like that don't understand what God has for you. And we'll let those words, oh, you switched up, you changed, keep us in the same prison, same mindset forever. It's like when people leave a certain environment, they say, oh, you ain't real no more. You switched up. You ain't keeping it real. Let me tell you right now, if keeping it real means that I got to stay in a place of pain, then you're damn right I ain't keeping it real. If keeping it real means I got to stay in the same place that I was 10 years ago, you're damn right I ain't keeping it real. If keeping it real means that I got to stay in the same trauma environment for the rest of my life, you're damn right I ain't keeping it real. Because we got different definitions and different meanings. You see, some people think keeping it real means staying in an environment that is no longer, man. Some people think keeping it real is staying in an environment that's no longer productive for your life. Crabs in a bucket mentality. But when you're addicted to growth, when you understand what this life is truly about, the best way you can understand it, and you understand you got a meaning in life, and you understand your meaning. See, most people that want to say you switched up have a meaningless life. And I mean that with all sincerity, but they have a meaningless life. They don't even understand why they live in life. And they want to say that, oh, you switched up. Oh, you changed now. You ain't the same now. Oh, you talk like this. You do this. Oh, you don't want to hang out no more. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do all the things. You're damn right. I don't want to do the same things we've been doing for the last 5 years. I don't want to do the same things we've been doing since we were 15 years old. I don't want to do the same things that has gotten us nowhere. I don't want to do the same things that's keeping us talking about the dream and not doing anything to actually live it. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to stay in the same place just to make you happy, to make you comfortable. I don't want to be here no more. Because I know that there's greatness calling my name. I know that God has something for me that maybe you can't understand. Maybe I don't even understand it, but I know he does. So I want to go experience that because I know what this brings. I didn't be here for the last decade of my life. I know what this brings. I know what trauma brings. I know what pain brings. I know what doing pointless things bring. I know what that culture brings. So I'm changing the meaning for my life. And keeping it real to me is getting the most out of my life. Keeping it real to me is taking care of my loved ones. Keeping it real for me is creating generational wealth from generational trauma. Keeping it real for me is creating generational power from generational pain. That's keeping it real. Don't let these people, man, make you stay in a place that you no longer supposed to be in, or keep you in a box, keep you in a prison that you ain't no longer supposed to be in. I don't care if it's your loved ones. I don't care if it's your friends from high school. I don't care if it's people on Facebook. I don't care if it's people in your comments. Don't let people that don't understand what's meant for your life keep you in something that isn't meant for your life. Please. You got to change that at some point. Change these meanings that society's trying to put on you. Somebody told me the other day, Trent, man, you kind of switching up. You switching up, man. You switch up from when I knew you 10 years ago. I said, you're right, I switched up. You're right. Everything switched up about me from 10 years ago. And I hope in my next 10 years, it switches up again. Because I know if I'm not growing, I'm dying. And he tried to say I switched up because I stopped going to certain places and doing certain things. So I switched up. But I had to break it down to him and say, man, those things was 10 years ago. I'm no longer doing the same things that maybe even served me 10 years ago that don't serve my now. I'm addicted to creating change and harvests for my future. So yeah, I switched up. I switched a lot of things up. You want me to stay the same? You want me to stay in the same place? So I share that with each and every one of you because I know how hard it is when you start to make change, when you start to make progression, when you start to make growth, when you make a decision that is an anomaly, right, from the decisions that everybody's making around you. And you feel like an outcast. You feel like you're doing something wrong. And all these attacks come on you when you're just making a decision to do what's best for your life. So it was on my heart today just to tell you this simple fact. I could have said this and ended the live. Keep going. Keep going. Keep growing. Keep changing. Keep progressing. Keep switching up. Keep being different. All those things. Because I know this is true. If you want to make a difference in this world, you got to be different. And I'm a living testament of that. Yeah, it's popular. I'm popular now, right? It's easy to support me now because everybody supports me. Well, not everybody, but you get it, right? It's people know me. But there was those ones that told me I was different. I was switching up when I first started. Now a lot of the same ones that tell me, man, I'm glad that you switched up. I'm glad that you changed. I'm glad that you went for it. I'm glad that you stepped out. Stepped out of the norm. Stepped out of the crabs in the bucket. Stepped out of the environment that was limiting. And you went and charted your own path and your own journey that God called for you. Followed that path, even though nobody understood it, you did it. And now look. So I don't know who this is for today. I don't know if it's for all of you or one of you. But it was in my heart to talk about this today and just tell you, like, to keep going and change your mind with this. I want to reiterate this. You're not leaving anybody behind that's choosing to stay behind. Now, if somebody's trying to come with you and you say, hey, nah, you can't come, that's a whole different story. That's a whole different live. But you're not leaving people behind that's choosing to stay behind. You're not. They're making the choice. And the truth of the matter is, y'all heard me say this a lot of times, the truth of the matter is, you can't make somebody change. And a lot of us, we are choosing to stay in a place that we're no longer supposed to be at because we're trying to get people on the same page as us. We're trying to bring everybody with us. I get it. You have a good heart. I try to bring everybody with you. But the journey is made for few. At most. The journey is made for you and maybe a few. But there's not going to be a lot that's willing to take that less traveled path. Not many. So yeah, you will be looked at as different. Right? You're reading all the books now and they talk about you. Why are you reading books? Switching up. Right? You change the music you listen to. Why you listen to that type of music? Why you listen to podcasts? Why you listen to this type no more. You switched up. Right? Oh, why you praying and meditating? You switched up. Why you ain't going out so much at night? Why you going to bed early? Why you caring about your sleep? Why you doing? Oh man, you switched up. You changed. Oh man, you a square. Are you different? You're right. Yeah, I am. I'm all of that in a bag of chips. But I'll tell you one thing. You're going to see. All these seeds that I'm planting, you're going to see the harvest 5 years from now. You're going to see the harvest 10 years from now. And when you ask me how I did it, you know what I'm going to tell you? Because I switched up. You know what I'm going to tell you? Because I was different. You know what I'm going to tell you? It's because in your mind, I wasn't keeping it solid, but I was keeping it all the way 1,000. Yeah. So my friend, listen to me right now. Don't think about the now, y'all. I get it. Like the now is very important, right? These moments are present, but I just want you to kind of think about the future. Think about the future you. Think about what the future you would tell you and say, man, you know, that future you was sitting right next to you. I have a conversation. Actually, today I had it right out here. You know, it might seem a little weird, but in this chair right here, I'm talking to the future version of myself. And I'm asking the future version of myself, man, like, what would you be proud of me for doing if I made the decision right now? And he said, you know what, Trent? I would be proud of you for doing these things because you made that decision right now and you're looking at the best version of yourself in the future. And the only reason I am this person is because you made these decisions, because you made these choices that were hard. You made these choices. You made these sacrifices. And I'm proud of you. And I thank you because I wouldn't be this version of me, of you, if you wouldn't have made those decisions or choices. So what would the future version of you tell you to do? All right? What inspiration would the future version of you write a letter? If you want to do some actionable, write a letter. Write a letter. What would the future version tell you? Coach you, mentor you. People ask, who's my biggest mentor? Future Trent? 60-year-old, 50-year-old, even 45-year-old Trent, 40-year-old Trent. That's my greatest mentor. Write a letter. And what would that future version of you 5 years from now, what would that version of you write to you? And say, listen, I know it's hard to make this decision. I know it's tough, right? I know it, but trust me, it's going to all pay off. I know some things maybe have left your life because you made a decision to live a better life. I know it's hard. I know it's a struggle. I know people don't understand. I know that you have your days where you cry, but keep going. I'm telling you, the shift is going to happen. The shift is going to happen where you go from that feeling of being uncomfortable to it changes in your life to where you're comfortable in a good way. You go from that shift where it's painful because everything around you is changing because you change. But it all work out. A lot of people stay stuck because they just think about now, right? We lack our faith and we trust what we see around us. That's why I say blind faith is really the strongest vision you'll ever have. Blind faith is usually the strongest vision you'll ever have because if we operate from what's happening around us when we make decisions, then we'll never truly make the decisions we need to make because a lot of us will say, oh, this is bad or this isn't working because this is what's happening now. You have to look at everything as a seed. Seed takes time to grow. It takes time. Thank you. Lori, I appreciate you. I'm glad it touched your heart. Cassandra, thank you. I'm glad it touched your heart. And yeah, I just wanted to come over here and share that because I really feel, I was like, man, like what's something in my life as I'm talking to myself today, like that really has helped me. And it was that shift. It was like me just saying, man, I didn't leave people behind. They chose to stay behind. And that mindset, that shift in perspective has allowed me to continue to grow, has allowed me not to feel guilty for staying in the same place in my life, has allowed me to really like go for it. And I don't feel guilty no more for that. I don't because it's damn scary to me to look back on my life and realize like I literally didn't go get my best life because I allowed people to say I switched up and changed. I allowed that thought to put so much fear on me that I stayed in the same place for my life forever. And that, to me, that's death. I don't, obviously I never experienced death before, but I believe that's death. Like I believe not living while you're alive is death. Like I really believe that. And I know I've been in my seasons where I've died. You know what I mean? Like my spirit, my inspiration, everything just died. And oftentimes it was tied to kind of conversation we had today. So I've made a pledge to my soul and my life that I will never stay in a place when I know I'm supposed to grow from it because of outside things. I will continue to grow. And if people don't understand, so be it. I'm willing to be misunderstood to help people understand. But like I tell you at the end of, I'm going to read this comment right quick. Losing others in family because of his loss, I switched up. Yeah. That's the thing, man. People try to put that gaslighting guilty thing on you and say you switched up. And so just embrace it. I did. You're right. I did switch up. I absolutely did switch up. You know what I switched up on? I switched up on losing myself. I switched up on, living in pain. I switched up on living in heartbreak. I switched up on all of that. I switched up on all those negative things. I switched up on everything negative. I did. If that's what switching up means to you, absolutely. I'll gladly take that title of being a professional switcher-upper. I switched up on everything that wasn't meant for my life. I switched up on everything that was toxic in my life. I switched up on all of that. I'm going to make a podcast about this week. You're right. I switched up on all of that. I did. I admit it. I switched up. Yep. I traded in losing myself, right, for being everything that I'm meant to be. I traded in my broken heart for a heart that's no longer broken, right? I traded in pleasing the world that didn't care about me to actually pleasing God. I switched up, right? I stopped living for this world. I switched up. I did. Give me that title. I'll take it. I'll take it. Because I'm committed to living my best life. And I hope you are too. So I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. And I know it's not as easy as just hearing these words out my mouth. Trust me, I get it. I know. But hopefully these words can maybe simmer in your soul a bit, can maybe stick to your life a bit. So when you're going through these times, you can always remember, like, I'm not switching up. You know what I mean? Even if it's just that, man, you know what? I'm not leaving people behind. They choosing to stay behind. And be real with yourself. Like you know the truth, right? You know the truth. And just know, like, everything isn't meant to grow with you. It's just, that is life. That's life. Not because you don't want things to go and grow with you. It's just people choose not to. And it's okay. It doesn't make them bad people. Everybody has their seasons too. I don't want you to start thinking these people are bad because they don't agree with you. They don't support you. They don't whatever. They don't mean they're bad people. Right? Don't put them in they're bad people box. They just ain't in their season. Who knows if they ever will be in their season? But you and yours. And it's okay to fully embrace your season. Because I do know this truth. Like, we ain't always guaranteed these opportunities and seasons, y'all. So when you have that season, when you have that opportunity, seize it. Take advantage of it. Because that opportunity isn't guaranteed to come back to you. That season of growth isn't always guaranteed to come back to you. That season of change isn't always guaranteed to come back to you. I can definitely attribute my growth in the past 5 years to the last 10 years of my choices. And they've been hard choices. Choices to let people go, choice to bring people on, choices to get away from things, choices to embrace certain things. And it all comes back to me making decisions that I felt God called me to make. I pray before any decision. I ask God for discernment. I ask God to flood my heart before I make any decision. And when God says go, I move, whether people are moving with me or not. So yeah, like I said in every single video, it all starts with you. Share this if you feel this. Send it to somebody that needs it. I know it was a long live. As always, I'm posting videos on YouTube, so check out YouTube. Just type in Trent Shelton. You will see my page, like 850,000 subscribers. That's my real page. So at Trent Shelton Videos, I believe is the handle. Instagram, I'm always on there. TikTok, on there also. And text community. If you want to text me, I know a lot of you are part of it, but I send out messages daily or almost daily, frequently. Just to inspire you. Like I just sent one out this morning, but 817-242-2719. If you're watching this, like maybe years from now, I don't know if it'll still be there, but right now that's the number, 817-242-2719. Joanna says, I need to switch up. I want to live my best life with my babies. Yeah, losing my husband to heart failure has been so hard. Being a single mom has challenged your video. Man, Joanna, we're praying for you. I can only imagine how hard that loss is. I know definitely me losing people in my life took a big toll on my life, a big hit in my life. So we're praying for your peace. And yeah, whatever you need to switch up on, do it. You know what I mean? Like you got babies, you got kids. They deserve a better you. You know what I mean? Even before that, you deserve the best you. You know, give that to yourself. And so whatever you need to switch up on, like, hey, y'all, that's the motto. Maybe it's switching up on what you're eating. You know what I mean? Maybe it's switching up on your habits. Like, it ain't always about people, right? Sometimes it's about us, right? We need to switch up on some things that we're doing that we know ain't adding to our life. So thank you. I appreciate y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon, man. Thanks to everybody for the stars too. I really appreciate it. It's rehab time. Let's get it. The number is 817-242-2719. Okay. 817-242-2719. Just send a text, put you in the system. All right. Let's get it.